first of all, if y'all don't know, the production on it was beautiful. They had multi cams and everything. I tried to do my multi cam setup for today's live stream. It didn't go great. Maybe next week we'll have it. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so shout out to Tasha K. Some more content creators over here on the YouTube that I want to give a shout out to before I get started, who gave wonderful commentary on this interview. We have Brandy Chanel. She is a smaller YouTube channel. I actually have recently shared her on my channel because when I gave birth, I was unable to come and give y'all my review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. But honey, I watched her review and she said what I was thinking. So I shared her on my community tab. You can search her name. It's BRANDI CHANELL, Brandy Chanel, or you can just check her out on my community tab because I already have her shared out. Shout out to Bondi Blue, of course, because she gave great commentary. Scotty by Nature. We're actually going to check. As a matter of fact, while I'm talking about Scotty by Nature, I was in his live after the interview, and Tasha K dropped it to his live, and I want y'all to watch Scotty's reaction because it gave me joy. It gave me joy to watch his reaction.
Un tiro, tres capas marcado.
It gave me joy.
You still fucking with him. You still fucking with him. So yeah, so you knew. Y'all, shout out to my mind is gone because Tasha K was in my chat. Like she was in my chat. My little ass chat.
First of all, Scotty has been on YouTube.
My chat. So shout out to
hold on.
To Tasha
let me mute it. Scotty has been on YouTube for 10 years. He just reached 28,000 subs. So the joy on his face was just so great to me. Hold on.
Two.
Let me see. There it is. I want y'all to see.
Let me get up and run real quick. Let me get up and run real quick.
He done took a victory lap, y'all. Go ahead, Scotty.
Let me get up and run. She was in my chat. Tasha K is in my goddamn chat. This is my day. This has made my goddamn day. Tasha K that made it in my chat. I did not know.
But yes, so shout out to Scotty by Nature because first of all, when he got up and ran around the screen, that thing had tickled me so. So shout out to Scotty by Nature. Shout out to Jamie That's Me. She had a great conversation about the interview afterward. As a matter of fact, let's check out Jamie's commentary. I actually went over on Jamie's channel and gave some of my thoughts on the interview. So let's watch that clip really quickly.
All right. I can hear you. I'm happy. So let's go. What are your thoughts, honey? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I have so many thoughts. I jumped in live right on time. Just finished. Okay. I took notes and everything. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Ariane taking accountability for her actions in the affair. She did start the interview off saying, I take accountability. Now I'm coming in here, first of all, because I'm going to come in hot. First of all, I'm going to tell the chat, I have talked about Ariane on my channel. Thank you so much, Jamie, for letting me be on your channel.
Oh, of course.
And so I have a lot of thoughts because this is the first time that we have heard Ariane speak other than them roundabout circular ass lives she does on her IG. Tasha was getting to the questions. Tasha was digging in, and I'm not mad at it. So when she started, Ariane took accountability, which I appreciate. However, when Tasha was pushing for an apology, I saw her not wanting to give an apology. I was like, oh God, is Tasha finna call Melody? Lord, that's gonna be a mess. But I see it from, I'm not saying I see it from both sides. What I'm saying is I saw someone who, if you say that you take accountability, why is it also hard for you to apologize for your part in it? Does that make sense?
A lot of sense. Yep. Sure do.
So that to me was like, okay. And this is another thing. Tasha kept saying, oh, she's so credible. And don't get me wrong, she may be credible. I don't know. But if I am judging your credibility, that's two things for me that does not add up. That's all I'm saying. And I am glad to. I saw somebody in chat say that she did another live, and I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, honey. I've watched all the lives. Okay, y'all don't know. I watched Martell on what was it, Heavenly, and that's when it first was spoken about abortions. This is just another point for me. This is something that I'm thinking about. It hurts my feelings to hear that these two women were so tied up by this man that they are pregnant at the same time.
Yes.
And making decisions about their body. And then these are personal decisions, and we are talking about it on YouTube so casually. And it's not even something that they brought out. These things were brought out by other people. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So I can understand the hurt in that. And it
All right, so that was a little clip of me over there on Jamie That's Me's channel. I'm sorry, let me fix my camera. So first of all, shout out to Jamie for even allowing me to be on her channel, talk my junk child. I had so many thoughts. I couldn't even talk about everything that I want to talk about because, honey, I didn't want to monopolize her chat. But we over here now, and so now I can give the rest of my thoughts, honey, especially after watching all of these videos over YouTube. The Jaded Nerd, Scared of Beautiful, Giving You the Real Tea, Ashley Miller. Shout out to all of these other YouTubers who have talked about it. I have listened. I have turned around and rewatched it because the very first time I watched the interview, I didn't actually watch the interview. I was cleaning my kitchen, so I had to turn around and watch it because I had to look at her. I had to look at her mannerisms because when I was watching everybody else's lives and they were talking about the 2-parent household thing, when she said 2-parent household and she said that her mom and her dad weren't together, because I was listening to it and wasn't watching it, I was like, oh, well, maybe she means that like it was her mom and her stepdad. Maybe it wasn't her mom and her biological dad, but it was like her mom and her stepdad. No, when I watched it and saw that she went 2-parent household. 2-parent household. What, ma'am? So, but y'all, that interview was a mess. That interview done sent the internet streets ablaze. Tasha K came out here and she understood the assignment. Y'all, there is a poll down in the chat right now because this whole conversation made me, it got me to thinking. So the first thing I did was post on my Instagram, is there a difference between the side chick and the mistress? Because Tasha kept hollering about how there was how Ariane was not a mistress. She was not a side chick. She was a mistress, as if that is something different, better, or something. Like, I don't know. So y'all answer the question down below. Is there a difference between a side chick and a mistress? That's the first thing I want to know. But this thing done got me to thinking. Because y'all know Sister Scissor say, how you want me when you say you got a girl? That's what Sister Scissor say. How you want me when you say you got a girl? Ariane sitting up there talking about he pursued me. Nobody pursues a married man. He pursued me. Listen up, Ariane, because I'm sure that song was speaking to you, baby. Honey, this side chick culture, we have seen it evolve. And I'm not even going to say evolve. I'm going to say we've seen it transform into a culture with rules and standards that determine your status, not only in wealth, but in importance. So, like, you have the main piece, the side piece, the mistress. But a piece is still not the whole. So why are we happy with having a piece? Why is a piece enough? Why would you want to be a piece? I'm confusion. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've seen this behavior. This behavior didn't start with Ariane. We've seen this behavior with Betty Wright, clean up woman. And Betty Wright, Not to be confused with Betty White. Speaking of Betty White, shout out to Betty White. But we've seen this culture for forever. But now there has become a hierarchy, I would say, when it comes to how it feels to be the side chick or the mistress. And for some reason, by Tasha saying that Ariane is the mistress, it's like giving her some type of validity, or is used to make her feel better for the situation that she put herself in. So I asked the question to my community. Okay, and I'm gonna read y'all some of the answers from my Instagram, because I wanted to know, because what my thought process is that there is no difference. Okay, originally my thought process was that there is no difference, honey. A side chick, a mistress, you're all the same. You're all you're all not the wife. I don't know, like, what is there some other importance? I don't know. So let me read y'all some of the explanations. I was trying to pull it up on the screen. Can I pull it up on the screen? I want to pull my comments up. Okay, here we go. So these are some comments from my Instagram. Again, make sure y'all are following me over there on Instagram. Link is in my bio. All right, so VW Huff says, I guess it's like saying baby daddy or father. Whatever the difference is, we are making them relevant. And one thing about it, I ain't trying to make them relevant, but I'm trying to get some understanding. I'm trying to get some understanding at how is it being called the mistress is better. Someone else said, Thea's Bunch, thank you. One of my YouTube fam says, I think the side piece is someone they see every now and again, but the mistress is their so-called main away from wife or girlfriend. Someone they see all the time, someone they talk to all the time. For me, it don't. She says, for me, why would you have a main? That's what makes no sense. Which I can understand. And I agree with. I don't understand how you got a main. Shouldn't your main be your wife? Okay. I love Nikki J says, in my opinion, the terms are the same. I do feel that a mistress is someone the wife is aware of and tolerates. But bottom line, one does not sound better than the other. They mean the same thing. And so if we're going by that definition, then Ariane definitely was a mistress, because Melody was aware of her and had been aware of her for a few years. Let them tell it. So I wrote down what I thought, from the different videos that I've been watching that was trying to explain it. I wrote down what the difference is from a side chick to the mistress, from my understanding. So when you think of a side chick, you think of a single man, and by single I mean unmarried. A unmarried man, okay? He may have a girlfriend. He may have a long-term baby mama that he keep messing with, you know what I'm saying? But he is not legally bound to anyone. They are stereotypically young. They get tricked off, meaning, you know what I'm saying? What you finna give me? What you gonna give me? You know, let me get a little bag. Let me get a little shoe. Let me get a little trip. Okay? Let me get a little something. Also, the side chick is not exclusive to this man. Okay? The side chick, she out here, you know, she dipping it and doing it. She living her best life. She's not tied down to anyone in particular. And also, the side chick may be unaware of, if let's say, if you were to consider, if there was a married man, if she was messing with a married man, she would be a side chick if she was unaware that the man is married, because they be out here lying. So to me, this is what constitutes a side chick. Insert toxic, because all of this is toxic. The whole conversation is toxic, but I'm breaking it down for y'all. I want to break it down from what I'm understanding. If y'all agree, let me know down in the comment section if y'all are agreeing with my assessment so far. Because this is I've gathered notes, and this is what I've gathered. Now, a mistress deals with a married man, and she's a kept woman. See, a mistress is paid for her silence. Okay. It's not tricking off. See, there's a difference between tricking off and then being kept. Okay. Tricking off is a trip. Tricking off is a bag. Being kept is rent. It's mortgage. It's car notes. You know, it's bills. Okay, that's being a kept woman. A mistress has rules. A mistress is supposed to have rules. What are the rules, you ask? First of all, the mistress. Oh Lord, I hit my camera. Y'all don't look at my dome. Don't look at my dome. The mistress knows not to talk to the wife. The mistress knows her place and chooses to stay in that place. I'll call you when I'm free. Isn't that what Ariane said? Martell told her, if I don't talk to you, then we won't talk. I'll call you when I'm free. You are on my beck and call. Okay. If my wife call, you play boo boo the fool. You don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't interact. Well, honey, if those are the rules of the mistress, Ariane has failed. Okay, she has admitted to speaking to Melody, and she says out of her own admission, well, it could have been seen as disrespectful when I spoke to the wife. Well, I think sleeping with a husband is disrespectful enough. Excuse me, but at what point is the wife and the mistress like sister wives? That's just my question. Because when I think about, and I'm not saying that Ariane and Melody were sister wives, but the scenario looks kind of familiar, and it just kind of made me think. Think about Peter, Amina, Tara, it's giving real sister wives energy. I know about you, you know about me. I'm gonna get pregnant. Oh, I'm gonna get pregnant because I'm gonna have the last baby. Oh no, you thought you had the last baby. No, I'm gonna have the last baby. To me, that gives real sister wives energy. I'm just saying, in my opinion, when both women choose to knowingly sleep with a cheating man without protection and get pregnant repeatedly, I feel like you've stepped into sister wife territory then. You done hopped over mistress territory. You done hopped over a wife, and you become a sister wife at that point. Y'all tell me what you think. And I don't want to speak on the outcomes of these various pregnancies, specifically between Ariane and Melody, because honestly, I think that whole conversation about their pregnancies and oh, my camera done died on me again. That whole conversation about their pregnancies, and their personal decisions around abortion is very distasteful. And I dislike how they keep throwing that up to discredit Melody, or throwing it up to talk about Ariane. Mind you, Ariane did spill tea, because we did know that she was pregnant one time before this last baby, but we didn't know she had been pregnant by Martell 3 times. After 3 times of being pregnant by this man, you're doing it on purpose. At this point, you're doing it on purpose. But anyway, and then while we talking about these abortions and things like that, the person who brought it out was Martell, and just the fact that Martell brought it out, you feel me? Y'all see how I feel about it. But anyway, Tasha K did something in her interview that is telling of the mindset of many people out there. She kept referring to Ariane as the mistress. Not you're don't let anybody call you a side chick. You definitely weren't a side chick. You were the mistress. As if that was better. And it ain't make no sense to me. So you got the wife who is at the top of this hierarchy. And then you have the mistress. So she right up under the wife. But you don't want to be a side chick. And God forbid you be a one night stand. Or maybe you just like, I don't know, deal with a guy that ain't messing with nobody. I don't know. What's disheartening to me is that the fact that Tasha K called her a mistress over a side chick was seen as a compliment. Why are women getting validation from being a main piece when you still out here sharing your man? I don't know about y'all, but I'm greedy, okay? And if I had to share my man with the next woman, that's a problem. I don't want it. And those are problems I don't choose to have in my life. I'm just saying. Ariane did that whole interview, but at the end of the day, she made a choice to stay up and live in dysfunction and ultimately in humiliation, because that's all that's come from this situation. She knowingly, willingly, and boldly took the mistress path. And I want people to understand that it's not worth it. And I mean, it ain't worth it to me. I mean, it might have been, maybe in her eyes, it was worth it at the time. She was taken care of. You know, they talked about how she was a single mother and Martell took good care of her. But look at everything that has happened since then. Look at all the things that you have lost since then. You have lost your credibility. You have lost your opportunity to be a nurse. You have lost your opportunity to be trusted. You know, was that worth it, Ariane? That's just my question. I got a quick story time for y'all, because when this story came out, it made me think, because and I'm gonna say this one thing that is one thing that I have noticed when I was watching all of the different YouTubers that I shouted out earlier. Again, I enjoyed the live streams. I enjoyed the conversations. However, y'all know how I like to give you my howevers. However, I don't think that people were really acknowledging Ariane's mindset as a 20-something-year-old and how easy it is to fall into that type of trap. Okay. Story time. I was 21. Fresh out of college, living in Atlanta, and got, I was out at a Super Bowl party, met this guy, me and my girlfriend met this guy, me and the guy hit it off. So he turns around, we exchange numbers. He turns around, asks me on a date. Well, okay, I go on a date with him. Date's going great. Okay, you know, I'm doing all of this, the typical date one questions. Where do you work? Where are you from? Do you have any children? I jokingly asked, you know, you got a girlfriend? You know, we done got through the whole day. I done ate my chicken Alfredo. I'm good. We paying, not we paying the check. I'm sorry. Let me be clear, because I don't pay no checks when I go on no dates. He pays the check. Well, you know, we're ending the night. And he says to me, well, you didn't ask me all the first date questions. And so I said, well, I thought I asked you everything. Okay, I asked you about no. I didn't ask him if he had a girlfriend. I said, I asked you about your job. I asked you if you have kids. And then I jokingly said, this is when I jokingly said, well, I didn't ask you if you had a girlfriend. I said, I asked you if you have a girlfriend. And I joked. And he says, well, you didn't ask me if I had a wife. Y'all, the look that came out, I said, was I supposed to ask you if you had a wife? Was that a question I was supposed to ask? He was like, well, I do have a wife. I said, well, what you doing on a date with me? What kind of foolishness is this? I was so offended. I felt the way. And I was, and you know what aggravated me, what upset me the most, because we were having such a good, like, I had been in Atlanta for months, hadn't went on a good date, and we had a good date, and I'm just like, oh, this is nice, you know. And mind you, he was older. If I was 21, maybe 22, I was 20. No, I was 22. I was 22. He might have been about 30, 31. So same age difference as Miss Arion. Okay. And so, I'm like, oh, he was nice and all this stuff. And so my feelings was hurt. I'm like, dang, you out here married? Well, never mind. So he walked me to my car and I had a whole attitude. I was like, well, all right, thank you. Thank you for dinner, whatever. And I left. Well, maybe a few weeks later, he invited me and my girlfriend out to this club. Because he was a part of a fraternity. He was a part of Omega, and I'm a Delta. So they were having some type of Omega party. And so he invited me to the party and was like, oh, we're going to have a VIP section, da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay. I called my homegirl. I say, oh, we invited to this party. Let's go. So we go to the party. We have a good time. I thank him for inviting us to the party. I ain't danced with him or nothing, but we were in the section with him and stuff. So we leave the party. It's the end of the night. We in Atlanta, downtown, honey. My girlfriend, I rode with her. She ain't got a boot on her car. Child, sitting at the parking where she ain't got no business. So she done got a boot on her car. So he had walked us to the car. And because we were waiting on the people to come and take the boot off of her car, he sat out there and waited with us. And he was like I'm sitting on the car and he's like standing in front of me in front of the car, and me and him are talking. And we didn't do anything inappropriate. We didn't say anything inappropriate, but he was close up on me. And end of the night, we say our goodbyes, get the boot, we go home. On the way home, my girlfriend says to me, she says, you was a little close to that married man. She says, you was a little close to that married man. I said, well, I didn't do anything with him. Like, I ain't trying to get with him or nothing. She was just like, I understand, but you was a little close to that married man. If you was his wife, you wouldn't have appreciated that. And when my girlfriend said that to me, I said, girl, you know what? You right. And at that point, I cut off all conversation with this man. Like, because I didn't even want it to seem, I didn't want the temptation of anything happening. Because me and him, we did have a nice little connection. I put that in quotations. Y'all can't see me. I put it in quotations. We had a nice connection. We had an attraction to each other, I'll say. And if you keep testing that, something will happen. So I don't give any sympathy to Arion hollering about, well, I was 24 and, we had communicated for 9 months before I got intimate with him. Well, baby, I was 22 and realized that if I keep communicating with this married man, I'm going to get myself in trouble. So let me not. So your being young is not an excuse. Okay? It's not an excuse. Because before you got intimate with that man, you knew he was married. Which means you should have picked up your bag and hit the door. Okay? That's all. I say all of that to say I ain't got no, I say all of that to say that I could have been Arion. Had I not made the conscious decision to cut off all ties with this man. And baby, if it's hard to cut off ties, you better learn how to block. Okay, you better learn how to build a wall full of blocks. Okay, cut them out, block them. But you want it to be in that. Y'all tell me, what are your thoughts? What is the difference between the hierarchical levels in this game? Do y'all agree with my assessment of how it's perceived? You got the wife on top, then the mistress, then the side chick, and then down there at the bottom is just a random one night stand of the jump off. That's just a man that's gonna cheat, just gonna cheat. Apparently, Martell has had many just, jump offs and side pieces and all kinds of things. But you know what? Ain't nobody above the wife, and then right after the wife is the mistress. Y'all tell me y'all's thoughts on it. And let me check out the poll. And let's see, I'm gonna put it into the poll. This is your last chance to put in a vote. Is there a difference between the side chick and the mistress? I hope that after me giving you this kind of breakdown, that you can make an informed decision on this poll. I'm ending it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Ended the poll, and at the end of the poll, it looks like 60% of you say that there is a difference between a side chick and a mistress. And I think that I gave y'all my thoughts on what the differences are. I don't want to be neither one of them. Now I'm one of them, not one of them. I don't want to be included in none of that personally. I think that, I hope that those of you who are my beauties and my subscribers and followers aren't choosing to put yourselves in this type of situation, because baby, look at Mama Ariane, okay? She has not come out on top. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I don't think it's worth it, okay? I don't think it's worth it. You just wasted your 20s. You wasted your good years on this man, and then turned around and anyway. I'm not gonna sit up here and drag Ariane like everybody else has done. I don't agree with her. Y'all can go on all the videos that I've given on the situations on Love and Marriage Huntsville if you want to get my dragging sessions about Ariane and Martell. I've done it time and time again on this channel. I just wanted to give a little different perspective on the conversation. I wanted to hear y'all's thoughts on it. I hope. Thank you for joining us tonight for Finally Be Friday Live. If you would like access to the full catalog of past FBF live streams, become a beauty by joining the membership. Take a look around my website to see all services that I offer. Then click the Join Today button to receive access to live streams, member-only content, beauty community posts, and producer credit. Thank you to the beauties that have supported me thus far and all the beauties that are joining each day. Follow me on all socials, links in the D-box. Are you looking for the perfect wig? Well, look no further, because the B Stokes Styling Signature Unit is made just for you. All of our units are handmade to fit your every need. And did I mention that we also accept insurance for medical hair loss? Go ahead and click the link below to get you a custom B Stokes Styling Signature Unit today. Visit www.bstokestyling.com. Is your goal in 2022 to balance your body and mind? If so, starting a yoga journey is a perfect way to do that. Join me each and every Saturday for a 1-hour Vinyasa yoga class. This class is offered both virtually and in person at Envision Dance Company. If you sign up on my website, you automatically receive a free yoga PDF to get your journey started. Visit my website today. Now, I have a question. I want y'all to let me know down in the comments. Do you think that Michael is a different person off camera than he is on camera? Married at First Sight. Oh, okay. Y'all see me? Married at First Sight. Let's just go couple by couple. Finally, Chris and Alyssa are no longer a thing, honey. Chris said he chose himself. He was tired of Alyssa dragging him through the mud as if he was some bottom of the barrel, messing with her low down thing. And I believe, as a matter of fact, the last video that I gave y'all, I actually gave y'all a standalone video of my thoughts on Alyssa and her being a straight up Karen. And I explained how her behavior is like the blueprint of what a Karen is. How she played the victim, how she would take things that were not even an issue, like the way he pointed and said that they were aggressive. And I appreciated that Chris was not here for all of this carrying on, because if it was up to Alyssa, honey, she would have been playing games. She would have been playing these back and forth games with him like until the end of the 8 weeks. So happy to see that. Now, this last week's episode, we did get to see them like separately because they had to explain that they were getting a divorce after 10 days. Chris talked to his mother, and his mother was like, well, I'm glad that you're not having to deal with her if she's really as bad as you say she is. Why is my fan now on? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be hot. Hold on, because I got to turn this fan up. Yeah, I'm gonna be hot if I don't. I got this Savage onesie on, honey, which I love, but she is warm. Okay. So what was I saying? So Chris talks to his mother, and basically he said that his mother really wanted him to be married and stuff like that, and I do believe that that is true. However, when Chris first even told his mom that he was getting married at first sight, she didn't seem like she was that enthused to begin with. And so I don't think that like his mom is just so upset or so hurt. I really feel like she probably felt like this was doomed from the beginning, just because who really goes onto a show called Married at First Sight and think that they're going to find their soulmate? I mean, apparently people do, but I don't know why. Then we saw Alyssa with one of her friends rewriting history, basically saying how Chris never put in the effort and that he was aggressive and he was mean. And what I love is that the producers on this show were so shady. And every time she would say something like, well, I tried, they would do a flash to her walking away from the conversation. Or I put in so much work. Then they would do a flash of her, saying how much she hated him. He didn't even try to talk to me. Then you would see the flash of her saying, don't let him come over here near me. Basically proving that Alyssa was the problem, which I mean, clearly anybody with 2 eyes and common sense could see. Even her own friend was like, I mean, you do be really hard on guys, meaning that her friend knows that you could be a witch with a capital B. Okay. I've been watching people and they're like, I hope Alyssa goes back and sees how she acted. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that she will. I don't think that she saw anything wrong with her actions. I think it's a special type of delusion to really feel like you are the victim and then to really portray that. And that's what she's done. She was delusional. It is what it is. So when they had to go to the group setting and announce that they were no longer a couple, nobody was surprised. Excuse me. Nobody was surprised. And I hope that we don't have to see them anymore. Like, I mean, of course, we'll have to see them at the reunion, but really, what is there to say? If Alyssa's going to come on to the reunion and pretend like she just did, that she did what needed to be done to excel in this process, I don't want to see it.
Are you looking for the perfect wig? Well, look no further, because the B Stokes Styling Signature Unit is made just for you. All of our units are handmade to fit your every need. And did I mention that we also accept insurance for medical hair loss? Go ahead and click the link below to get you a custom B Stokes Styling Signature Unit today. Visit www.bstokestyling.com.
I'm just sitting up here like Paul is getting all the play, and I just don't understand why. Ready to Love, honey. Ready to Love Potomac. I have actually been enjoying this season more than the DC season. I know that some people are not enjoying it, but I have been enjoying it more. I will say that this cast is very overtly sexual. And again, for me, that's aggravating. I guess like at this point, they've been on this show for what episode is this? Like what, 6, I think? I don't remember, but they've been on the show for quite a bit of time. It's been weeks. So at this point, I expect them to be a bit more like sexual, but in the beginning, especially, that's just aggravating to me because like y'all are grown people, y'all. We've all had sex. Like you don't have to be this thirsty like you're a teenager. But anyway, that's why I titled it Ready to. But anyway, I know I've missed a few weeks, so I'm not gonna go back. They have added some new people to the mix. Let's just go ahead and go into this episode. Let's just go ahead and talk about this episode because I don't really want to go back too much. I will say that they added Tina and Donovan were the last 2 people that were added that I don't believe I talked about, and they ended up having a pool party. Now, excuse me. At this pool party, the men had the power. And so I find it interesting that when the men have the power, Laverne seems to be more like laid back and more, the women feel like he has some type of God complex or something like that. But I feel like he doesn't work. He doesn't really be trying to talk to and work with nobody. Maybe that's because he doesn't feel anybody, or is it because he just feels like everyone should be coming to him? Don't quite know. As far as Donovan, which is the new guy, he seems to be blending in well with the people, with the cast. I don't remember who he has a connection with, but I do know he does not have a connection with Precious. And I've said before that something to me seems off about Precious, and I think I realized what it was last week. Precious is just, for me, too eager and too, I don't want to say aggressive because, you know, people, when you say that word, the connotation behind it, but too forward. That's the word. She's too forward for me. And that's just me and possibly my dating style. Like, I don't believe in women being overly forward with men, just because I like when I think the dynamic works better when men are chasing women versus the other way around. You get what I'm saying? And I will say this season of Ready to Love, we've definitely been seeing more men feeling a way over the women than the other way, which is good, which is refreshing, because in the past few seasons, honey, it's like the women get stuck on this one man, honey, and it's like, oh, he's my number one, and who's your number one? And we're not seeing that this season. I'm glad to not be seeing that this season. But okay, so this week's episode, I'm on a tangent because I haven't talked to y'all in a minute. But okay, so this week's episode is we start the episode off with the men giving their opinion on who should be leaving, and so Precious was in the bottom, and so was AP. They believe AP is not over her ex-husband. You know, she's a widower, and then Precious again is just a bit high energy, a bit forward. And the men aren't feeling her. Donovan, even though she's feeling Donovan wasn't feeling her. You know, she had a connection with Paul, but Paul is all over Tina, the new girl, honey, the new hotness. She's 31. They brought Tina in to pair with Wiley, honey, and everybody just sliding right on past Wiley. But in the end, AP was let go. She was not ready to love, just because honestly, her guy wasn't there. And she knew her guy wasn't there. Like, they may have given it because they may have given the excuse that they felt like she wasn't over her ex-husband or whatever. I just really think that she was guarded. And when you lose a spouse, not because you divorced your spouse, but because, you know, your spouse, you know, passed on, I think it's probably a higher level of guardation that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you wanted to start dating, or it's not like you're going to always be comparing the next guy to your late spouse, I think. So her guy just wasn't there. I mean, it is what it is. She left gracefully. Moving on. We see that it is, so that was a cliffhanger from last week. So this week is the ladies' week to decide who is ready to love and who's our first. Wait, before they left the little pool house, the beach house or whatever, they decided to have dinner. Eric cooked dinner. I really like Eric. I really like Eric and Dakia. I really do.
Thank you for joining us tonight for Finally Be Friday Live. If you would like access to the full catalog of past FBF live streams, become a beauty by joining the membership. Take a look around my website to see all services that I offer. Then click the Join Today button to receive access to live streams, member-only content, beauty community posts, and producer credit. Thank you to the beauties that have supported me thus far and all the beauties that are joining each day. Follow me on all socials, links in the D-Box. Are you looking for the perfect wig? Well, look no further, because the B Stokes Styling Signature Unit is made just for you. All of our units are handmade to fit your every need. And did I mention that we also accept insurance for medical hair loss? Go ahead and click the link below to get you a custom B Stokes Styling Signature Unit today. Visit www.bstokestyling.com. Is your goal in 2022 to balance your body and mind? If so, starting a yoga journey is a perfect way to do that. Join me each and every Saturday for a 1-hour Vinyasa yoga class. This class is offered both virtually and in person at Envision Dance Company. If you sign up on my website, you automatically receive a free yoga PDF to get your journey started. Visit my website today.
Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my beauties. Today is going to be a hair tutorial. So thank you all for tuning in. Today I'm going to be doing a little braided protective style. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, so I hope it turns out good. But the main thing that I want to talk about in this video today is the Rev Air blow dryer. So I'm going to be using my Rev Air blow dryer to straighten my hair so that I can make this protective style sleek and gorgeous. If you've never heard of the Rev Air reverse air blow dryer, where have you been? Clearly you're new to my channel, because I have 2 videos giving you a full breakdown on this dryer and its benefits and how to use it. So if you haven't seen those videos, make sure you check the description box down below or click this little icon up here and go check those videos out. Today I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on how I use it. This is just going to be something quick and simple, and I just need to get this zhuzh together. So let's do it. So I am starting with freshly shampooed and conditioned hair. To do this, I have used the Pattern Beauty shampoo heavy conditioner, and I'm also going to use the leave-in. Y'all make sure you stay tuned, because I'm going to give y'all a full updated review on the Pattern Beauty hairline, since I have been using it now for
almost a full year, so y'all can get a full understanding. If you haven't tried this system out yet, you definitely want to stay tuned for that video. So first things first, my hair is actually it's dry. It's gotten dry. I shampooed it this morning and it's the afternoon, so it's dry now. So I'm going to actually part it out and I'm going to re-wet it and moisturize it. I have put nothing on my hair at all. I just rinsed the conditioner out. I haven't put any leave-in or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and part my hair out into 4 big sections and moisturize. So as I'm parting my hair, I'm using the comb to kind of create the part, but then I'm detangling my hair using my fingers as to not cause breakage. Now that I have my hair sectioned off and I'm looking crazy, I'm going to start with some It's a 10 Miracle leave-in, and then I'm going to go back with the Pattern Beauty leave-in conditioner. So that's 2 leave-ins, and then I'm also going to use the Curls hair growth oil to kind of seal everything in before I start using my dryer. I'm just going to refresh my hair just a little bit with some water. This is just plain water in a misting spray bottle, and I'm not getting it soaking wet, but I am definitely getting it damp.
I'm just coating my hair with those products I told you about. The It's a 10 leave-in has a built-in heat protectant, because even though the reverse air rev air blow dryer does not cause as much heat damage, you still have to put heat protectant on your hair. Even if you're not going to blow dry your hair, heat protection is important to protect against even sun damage. And on this very first section here, I used the high tension setting with no heat, and honestly the no heat was by mistake, but I still got a good amount of stretch from the no heat setting. And then on the rest of my hair, I did go and use the high heat setting. So if you do see a difference in one side to the other, that's kind of why. But as you can see, I still got a nice piece of stretch there. Awkward thumbnail shot. So this is the first section, again with the high tension, no heat setting, and I'll be right back with the rest.
Alright, so my hair is dry. A quick little length check. It's definitely growing, you guys. I have not seen my hair straight in a while, so let's comb it back real quick and see how my length is in the back. Can you see? Okay. So my hair is definitely growing. Alright, you guys, so now that I have my hair nice and straight and soft and stuff, I am actually going to go off camera and I'm going to give myself like a little slight trim. My ends are a little crispy, so I am going to take a little bit of this off camera, and then I will be right back to show y'all how I'm going to style this. Hopefully by then I have an idea of what I'm going to do, so stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so I'm back with freshly trimmed hair. I hope I didn't cut too much, but that did need it to go, so it definitely feels a lot better. It's still nice length, so I'm happy with it. So now we're going to style. I have, let's see, what do I have here to style? I have some bobby pins, my big tooth comb, a couple of little scrunchies, and some braiding hair. I have the color 1B, and then I also have the color 33, I believe. I think this is 33. And I'm going to mix them together because y'all see these roots, so I'm going to mix it. And I think we're going to do like some type of a jumbo braid. So I'm not going to talk through it because I don't know what I'm going to do. Sorry, but I hope it turns out good, so just stay tuned.
So I'm starting by parting my hair from ear to ear and creating 2 big subsections. So I'm going to start in the back, and I'm just going to brush my hair all the way up into like a ponytail right at the occipital bone. And I just used a regular scrunchie. I haven't put any gel or anything on my hair because I didn't want to. I was going to be getting it braided, like professionally braided later, so I didn't want to have a whole bunch of product in it. And then take this next section and put that ponytail like right there above that first ponytail. Remember, when you're putting scrunchies and stuff on your hair, you don't want to make them too tight. Now I'm going to mix those colors, the 1B and the 33, and in that front, on this first braid, I'm going to have a majority of the black hair just because that's where my roots are really showing. And it took me a minute to kind of get my fingers right and working, but essentially I just braided that braiding hair into my natural hair. And as I'm braiding down, I want to try to tuck my natural hair into the braiding hair so that my ends are protected. And this is a true protective style. Alright, so the first braid's done. Now I'm going to basically do the same thing to the hair in the back. I added a little bit of black hair to that one, and I also split the hair into 3 when I braided the back one, just so it would be a little easier since I couldn't see. So I split the braiding hair into 3, then I split my hair into 3 directly up under the braiding hair and just did a normal 3-strand braid. Now I'm just taking the tail end of that very first braid and wrapping it around the back braid, and I'm just going to pin it until it's in a nice shape that I like. And literally that's it. 2 braids and a few bobby pins, and I got the style. And of course, no style's complete without slaying those edges. The edge control I use has a little bit of a tint to it because I have thin edges, so it gives me the appearance of fuller edges.
Crazy. All right, you guys, so that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, or I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure, quiet on set. Take 2. All right, guys, take 3. Okay. Alright, you guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have never used the Rev Air and if this is your first time seeing it, I hope that this has inspired you to go look into it, especially if you're a natural girl, because it is a great blow dryer. For those of you who just don't like the traditional blow drying method, if that's too hard for you, it's super easy to use, and it's less damaging on your hair than the traditional blow drying method. So I stand for my Rev Air. Make sure y'all check it out. The link is down below. I want to give a special shout out to my Patreons. Remember, if you want to join Patreon, all you have to do is click the link in the description box. And before I go, I want to make sure I give a special shout out to one of my YouTube friends. Check this out.
Bruh.
Y'all make sure you head on over to Mila's Mind TV and tell her that Be Stoked Styling sent you. The link to her channel is in the description box.
And I will see you beauties next time. Peace. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Today, I'm going to show you how I created and sculpted this signature B-Stoke styling custom unit. To color this unit, I used Lonza Healing Hair Color in 7cc with 10 volume developer and 2 bundles of dark blonde loose wave Maven hair, which you can find on my website, with a frontal. Before coloring the bundles, make sure that the hair is damp and not soaking wet, but as damp as towel dried hair would normally be. Make sure you separate all the hair so it'll be easier to go through and color. Be sure that you are fully saturating each bundle so that you don't cause blotchiness. Now that I'm done coloring this bundle, I'm just making sure that there are no spots and working the color in deeply. Again, I'm just going through and dampening the hair before I start coloring. When coloring the frontal, be careful not to get any color on the lace because you don't want it to stain. Make sure to use a light touch and gentle sweeping motion upward when working on what would be the root of the unit. When coloring my frontals, I like to work with vertical partings because it's the same as if you were parting the hair once the unit is all done, and that way you won't have any spots when you part. Because I am making this unit for a specific client, I'm using a different cap than I normally would. This time I'm using a dome cap, and as you can see, I am pulling it very taut. This client's head is smaller than most, so I have to pin it to fit the mold that I've made for her wig stand. As I sew the bundles, I am using the fold over method so that I won't have to cut the bundles. And remember, when you're using this method, to use a little more tension. You know, the more tension the better, so that there are no bumps or lumps in the unit. You want it to lay as flat and naturally as possible. So now it's time to cut. I've already cut a little bit, as you can see, and I had to cut quite a bit of hair off this unit because I wanted a nice rounded shape that would fit my client's head naturally. I'm just kind of slightly tapering the back and adding layers throughout the front and top.
So after cutting the initial shape of this unit, I'm just kind of spraying it down a little bit and using my razor to cut out any additional weight or any spots that look extremely heavy. I literally cut this wig about 3 different times before I felt like it was perfect. So I cut a lot of this out for the video, but I cut this wig a lot just to make sure that it flowed very naturally and didn't look too heavy and could really fit my client's face. Whenever I make my custom units, I always think about my end result and how they will look on my client. Okay, now I'm just re-wetting the unit a little bit, and I'm going to use Design Essentials composition and kind of work that throughout the unit so that I can set it and wrap it to dry overnight.